So I got the ability to do live streams on TikTok again, and immediately got banned. This is the woes of synthetic oil. If you put in a conventional oil, it won't leak, right? But if you put a synthetic in it, it will leak. Just a little, just enough to annoy you. And I put in a semi-synthetic, and it isn't leaking like it was, but damn thing. I did the same thing to the baler when I went to that full synthetic. As these tractors get some age on them, they want to leak.
Mommy, I'm cold now.
You ready, Tim?
Oh, what? You're what now? You see, I told you.
Silly boy. Go get your coat on.
He got a coat.
Oh, does he? Yeah. I would change that. I would change that thing, but it's not that big a deal to put this clutch in, or this gizmo. Watch your fingers.
Yep.
Oh, the joy. Did you line up the holes before you
Can I
stuck
get
that ring in there?
Yeah, I can go in there. You got your pry bar?
I have my screwdriver.
I almost fell.
I don't know.
Daddy locked it.
Yeah, it's in my pocket. Want them in?
He said he want to get in.
Daddy, can I need my key?
Can I need my key? Can I have the key, please?
May I have the key?
Okay, what kind?
15.
15 socket. Choo, 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 choo. I got no 15. 15 is empty.
It's right there already out.
Get another bolt in there.
Right here.
Oh. Well, you should have said something.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You better get another bolt in there. Give me a bolt. Yeah, because I'm not feeling it. There it is. Easy being cheesy, but it's that easy to put that in.
I got the key.
Okay, don't lose it. You already lost the mower key, remember?
What? When did he lose the mower key?
He put the
When I
drawer.
was looking for it.
Well, where is it? Have you
I
lost
don't know
it
where the
completely?
hell it's at. I had to use another one.
Oh.
I found it on the drawer.
You did find it?
It's in the house. He put it on the drawer, apparently.
Okay, that's good. It's not a hard job at all, just a job. Ooh. Those things are handy as shit, aren't they?
Yo. That's why I bought it.
Okay, so there's some missing footage. I didn't put this in the wrong spot. What happened was I snapped off one of the bolts that holds that dampener in. And I took it all apart, and of course I had to pull the flywheel off because the bolt was stuck in the flywheel. So we pulled the flywheel off, and we discovered that one of the bolts that goes in the flywheel was broke. Yes, broken. So when I pulled the flywheel, we pulled the flywheel. It was pulled out, so we replaced that. Anyway, pulled the flywheel off and noticed that there was a rear main seal leak, and that is why you're watching what you're watching right now. I'm slightly annoyed.
So am I.
Okay, so John Deere.
Down there.
John Deere. So this is the rear main seal for the 8530. The rear main seal for the 8530. It was this weird ass thing, this guy here, and this goes on the crankshaft, and you put it on, and I think it was the idea was a good one where you just kind of put it on the top of it and you press it in and life is good, instead of having the installation tool, which nobody has anyway. So that didn't work, so they subbed it over to this, which is fine. This looks just like the old style ones from yesteryear. Pre-lube the rubber ID only. Alright, so you're supposed to pre-lube this guy, when you go to put it in here. But, what the hell are they doing? Roll? But if you notice, comes right through that housing. Right through that housing. They're different. New style, old style. Problem is, and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, except Mother Deer did not put a warning on the new seal when it subbed from that to that you might need to buy the new housing. And we don't have a housing. So it's going to be, bit me under my arm. It's going to be a wait till tomorrow deal. Yay, great, just what I want to do. So this thing, I'm going to finish cleaning up the crank, but I'm annoyed. I am actually quite annoyed. So what you do is you put the new housing on, and then you put the seal on there, and then you are to drive it in. There's no seal driver or anything. And you push that seal on. It's not hard to do. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. So the last time I did that, how did I do that? That little giant
alligator thing. Gee, you think we have enough light here?
I hope so.
Got enough here.
Yeah, that thing actually works pretty good. We got to get the rest of this stuff off of here. Imagine emery cloth would take that off.
What happened, Tim? Run out of fuel? Hi, Pookie.
I found two-stroke thing together. So once you get them kind of...
Oh, careful.
Whoa, that thing's actually...
Hooray.
torquing these suckers down. You look tired, young lady.
Cold.
Cold. Filipinos don't like cold.
No.
Filipinos in general don't like
General. Asian, we know like Filipino, Joe.
cold. Pacific Islanders don't
Yeah,
like cold.
we know like cold weather.
You're not Japanese or...
No.
I'm over there because they're not squared. Let's get the one closest to you. 15 mil. My hands hurt so bad. I don't
How
know.
can you stand this cold weather? I'm here out for like seconds and I'm like into the bone cold.
I don't know. I'm white.
It's got nothing to do with blood, I guess. Or
How much you weigh?
113.6.
You have to get the 0.6 in there, huh?
Absolutely. Probably 13.9 now because we ate junk today.
I didn't eat any junk.
I did.
Alright, what size, what torque?
51. Yeah, I think it's 50. Let me double triple check. That's a 10M17. Till we find our slots. Oh, hold it. I think we got it. Turn it back just to see here. You ain't getting that. Oh, you got it. That's it.
That's it?
Keep her going.
Why do I got hiccups?
Hiccups.
wrench. Teresa picked it up.
Oh, you need that?
Stand off to the side in case that flywheel blows up. There. Problem. Should I stick my finger in? Oh, let it warm up.
What?
Let it warm up. I think she's good. Finished putting her together now. Right?
Alright.
You frozen yet? Hey Tim, you got a lighter? Hey, lighter? Huh? Oh.
Why am I just putting everything?
Just give it a little hole. Down at the base. Go, go, go. Light it up.
Whoa.
Light it, light it, light it.
What is it?
Ah, it's a lot warmer over here, Teresa. Heat up the Filipinas. You need a haircut?
What do you got? You got camera going?
Yeah.
Fire hazard.
Pretty fire hazard. Warm. Venting.
You put that on the field, you'll be in trouble.
Ah.
I mean, Dad, you
Done.
never deal with that. Big freaking fire.
Come on around. There she goes. So what we did was we worked on the header to get the height control to work properly. I had it set too sensitive. Now it should be working. And it is. If you've never seen a header flex like that, honestly, it is working. We got Teresa running the VT. This is her first trip with it. Literally the first trip with it, so she's got to get comfortable with the speed and the distance. She's used to running balers and hay rakes. And 24 foot of Great Plains Turbo Max 2400 is a little bit different than what she's used to. So I know there's a lot of guys that were saying, oh, that thing's gonna bounce across the field. The thing weighs 10 tons, over 10 tons. It weighs over 10 tons. So the whole point in vertical tillage is to loosen the top inch and a half of the soil and rip weeds out in the fall. I know there's some guys saying, how can you no-till when you're running a tillage machine? Well, tillage, traditional tillage, is a plow and some sort of a finishing device, whether it's a disc harrow or a field cultivator or even one of these things or a high-speed disc. This is just literally fluffing the top part of the soil. It is a little too wet to no-till into. If I was to bring my no-till drill out right now and run my no-till drill through this, it would leave open slots. I do believe it's pretty damp out here. So the other thing that the vertical tillage is doing is keeping me from having to buy herbicide to take out chickweed, because if you didn't notice, it just uproots them. It literally uproots them. And if you don't believe that it's uprooted, I'll come over here and I'll grab a hold of this and I'll break it off. See that? So when she comes through again, you'll see that it'll just tear that right up. Just tears it right up. Now, chickweed on this farm has been a plague forever, as long as I've been here. Yeah, and this tractor just plays with this vertical tillage machine. Just plays with it. Now, if you see this machine bouncing, it's bouncing because of rocks, not because of speed, not because of an inexperienced, not because of an inexperienced operator. Nothing to do with that at all. It has to do with rocks and stones. Look at that. So I think that it's doing really well. So the reason I'm having her go over it first, is to loosen this top part. And I'm telling you, it's only cutting in that far, 1.5 inches, possibly maximum 2 inches, but it's 1.5 inches. And she's doing a great job. She'll drop that sucker down and go for broke. Look at that. Just give it. Just give it. And these do pull pretty hard. See that? Look at that. They do not turn soil. They do not loosen. They do not turn soil. They do not cause compaction. They loosen up the top part. Because we're going to be spinning on a cover crop onto this thing, and that will incorporate the cover crop with the tines very well. Very, very well. That field is done. And in the springtime, because no-till is just that, it's no-till, this will cut slots and allow a little bit of aeration in the soil and allow it to dry out much faster, so that you can get back in here at a faster pace. And like I said, that's your bouncing from rocks. See that? So yeah, so she's going to do this today. I'm going to get that combine out of the way right now, so that she can get around it. I've got the header disconnected. I have to drop it on the cart, and then I got to take the cart over there because I got fields down below and other fields there. The other thing that VT is doing is it's chewing up and resizing this residue, this stalk residue, including corn fodder that's still out here from last year. But it's going to dry it up by this afternoon. I'll be able to put the wheat in. She's going to go down below my sister's grave there, my sister and brother-in-law's grave, and she's going to VT the sunflowers in the pumpkin patch because that needs to be done. The sunflowers and the pumpkins are done. The birds have eaten the sunflowers, doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and you know, that's just what we wanted. We wanted the birds to have food, right? Not really. What I wanted to do, I accomplished what I wanted to do, except I know I'm gonna have dirty hands. So let me go get my gloves. I have gloves up here. Finish disconnecting this and then get the heck out of her way, because she's gonna run me over. Yeah, we're recording now. All right. So that is Teresa running 8530 with the Turbo Max 2400. I got to tell you, I'm just gonna show you, and you can hear the night sounds here. I got the engine on this truck, but oh yeah, she's getting it. She got to go the right direction now. The crazy girl. I told her we were done. The VT, this thing, I really like the job that it does. Doesn't disturb the soil too much, just kind of fluffs up the top inch and a half, and when I put the seed on the ground, it just, you go over it and it stirs it in. I got wheat that's about ready to come up through the ground. It's been in the ground for 3 days. I'm really pleased with the job that it did. You know, I don't mind a grain drill, but we're just putting in cover crop wheat. That's all it is cover crop wheat. It'll never get harvested. It's probably just going to get rolled in with the VT here, and corn or soybeans or both will be put into those into this stuff as a cover crop. It's just the way it's going to be. So I think I made a good choice with the Turbo Max. I know there were some guys that are like, oh, you should have got an accelerator. Well, the accelerator is a high-speed disc. It's not a vertical tillage machine. And there is a difference between vertical tillage and a high-speed disc. So if you don't know the difference, you should probably get educated a little bit. I'm going to shut the door here. I'm going to watch your mom for a second. Ooh, we are in the mud. You just get educated, that's all. Yeah, that's... Hello.